Lucy.
Hello, Lucy.
Hi.
Oh, gosh.
I'll let you pass by.
Oh, I wanted to show you something.
Okay.
I didn't do much this week, but what I did manage to do is to find some rubber stamps that I can part with eventually. I mean, I'd like to make, copies of these
Okay.
before I go ahead and do that.
But this is good. So some items you've gone through to find.
I got to thinking of which ones could I bear to part with, and I thought of different ones that it might have been a slight mistake to get, and others that if I had a few copies of it,
You'd be okay.
yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you worked on that. That's a huge step in the right direction.
Yeah, because this I'd gotten because it was so cool, but
I
I have yet to use the so cool.
Yeah.
And see, this is the one I said about
The San Antonio one. Okay.
Yeah, it's a nice ad one, but this is the nice one, the River
The
Walk.
River Walk. Okay.
So I want to, make a few of these.
And then that way you can share those
Yeah. Oh,
with others.
are you taping already?
Let there be light.
No. Let's see which one is the up there. So. Okay. All right. So there's one I don't need to plug in. That's the one of those that I need to get rid of.
One of the ones that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lucy, I thank you so much for, allowing us to come back in to your apartment. And what we're really just wanting to do today is get, some views of the apartment to get an idea of what areas are, congested or have accumulated things.
Well, pretty much the whole apartment.
Right. So that way we have an idea to, see how much transformation is made when you're making your progress along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Well, I think it won't be a lot of visible improvement for a while because a lot of it's going to be in the arrangement and organization area because it'll take a little longer to decide what to part with. Although from that box of rubber stamps, I've already shown my willingness to part with some.
Yeah, that's a big step. And you made some thoughtful decisions in picking those.
Yes, that one, it's beautiful, the mother with her baby.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful. But where would I use it?
Right.
And then two, there's several other, like, this is still a little bit iffy, but this one, that would make a great texture.
And when you were deciding on these items, how did it feel?
Well, mostly it felt all right, because they're ones I have hardly ever used. Some of them I haven't used at all. And this I have to make more than a few copies because I'd gotten it specifically for that. It's an Art Deco. I like the flow, but the rest of them I can fairly easily part with.
Okay.
That gal, I probably shouldn't have bought it. Well, never mind. That's details that you don't care about and nobody else would care. I have been thinking, and there are items that I wish I'd had room for because I would have used them if I had place to put them.
Right, right.
So I'm not positive, do I really want to get rid of all of them? You know,
Sure.
maybe some are containers that are fairly decent that I could use because I have an awful lot of accumulations,
Mm-hmm.
and some things just need a decent place to put them. And I know.
And right now you don't have any place to put them.
Yeah.
Is that
And if I clear out some of the extraneous detail, then perhaps one or two of the items may be in use again.
Okay. Well, good.
Because some of what is left over after that will need a place to be put.
Okay. And I remember last time you mentioned these houses back here, that you had taken some time to collect those and thought you would do some
Yes,
activities with those.
I only used one of them
Mm-hmm.
for presents. I'm going to have to measure that big house. I may use it for mail. But one of the houses is going to definitely go.
Okay.
And I have some lidded containers that I could part with some of them.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to make a couple of items and see, well, oh, I think I will be able to get these done. I just have to get to it.
Right.
Or I don't think I'll ever get to it.
Right. That's a good thing we talked about. Kind of really, identifying
Yes.
what you're going to use and what you're not going to use.
I have not yet dug out the wood carving tools.
Okay.
Of course, that's only one small package. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to still use some of the wood burning if my finger heals all right.
Okay.
Because I also have the wood burning. Well, I have a lot of craft items that I love to use or wanted to use, but since I have not had a lot of self-control, won't control, I don't allot my time very well.
Mm-hmm.
If I use more willpower and decide, well, maybe only 2 hours of reading a day instead of 3, 4, or 5 hours of reading. And if I stick to it, log it in.
Okay.
Oh, I've already spent 45 minutes reading, so if I want to get any other done for the rest of the day, I'll have to stop now and do some, say, after lunch.
Okay.
So it might take me a little while to get used to it, but it would be one way of handling some of the problem.
Now, I know that you have and I've gotten a chance to look at several of the different areas of collections of things you have here. Can we point out some of the areas so that we can...
Now, if you care to look right in there, we don't have a decent spotlight. I've got a flashlight if you think that would help. Several of these dragons, I've been collecting them for 10 to 15 years. This is an oriental one. There's my librarian dragon, or bookish dragon. Several are handmade. In fact, many of them are handmade. That one there too, and this one. And I made something that's, well, dragon-like. Oops. One behind the oriental one. It's brownish.
Looks
anyway,
like
something reptilian.
Okay, you made that?
I made that one.
Okay.
And some of these others are handmade. This one is made from a mold, but somebody had to create it. And this one here is somebody's handmade, and so is that.
And I do see you have the collections, and you need more space really to display
and
them,
then,
so you can
and then up here is another dragon. And see, I also collect some castles, which was one there. And then see that little castle on the top of a hill.
Oh, okay. It's a tiny, yeah.
Okay, now on the other side of the room, on the top of this cabinet, are some more dragons. Only these up here are the ones that were molds from molds, and I decorated them,
Okay.
painted them.
And I see some down here also.
Let's see.
1, 2, maybe?
Those two are. Well, that's kind of hard to. And you might not be able to get them up there. Candles.
Oh, okay.
And this horse here, that's a unicorn. The horn is on the bottom, taped to it.
Okay.
It was made from a sea creature, the shell.
Okay.
Um,
So collection of dragons.
yeah, and my largest dragon is actually in the bedroom with a
Okay.
few other dragons. I have
And
a couple of dragons. They're asleep, but they guard my computer.
Okay. So that's good.
They hang over the edge.
And then we can see from back here you got a lot of stamp
Rubber
collections.
stamps.
Rubber stamps.
And those cabinets there are half filled with rubber stamps. Some
Okay.
have other craft items in them.
Okay. And this is your main workspace.
No, it's not
No?
actually.
Okay.
That's where I do my eating and reading and such.
Okay.
And I had some other things I was doing, but my major workspace is in that other room there.
Okay. Well, maybe we can take a look around there. We can. And this area right here in front is
a
collection of.
disaster area. Supposedly files and papers I don't know what to do with,
Okay.
or I don't keep them current.
Okay.
So knowing what to give away and what to throw away, how to actually sort them,
Okay.
has been one of my large problems.
Okay.
Oh, here, right here, that egg, that's another dragon. A
On
friend
the
of
egg?
mine, the
Oh,
egg,
okay.
a friend of mine made that for me.
Nice.
And there's one, and there's one,
Mhm.
glass ones. Okay,
So those are pretty important to you. I can see.
and there's some oriental things that I bought and display. Dining room.
The dining room and your main work area is.
Yes.
Okay.
And craft work. Craft work.
So
area.
as we go through the kitchen, though, can we stop in the kitchen just a little bit, just
Yes.
to kind of talk about?
Major problem in this sink, besides a couple of pots that I never cleaned from soaking my hand when I had the carpal tunnel syndrome operation, but sink is filled with silverware that have accumulated a lot of lime and would take a major investment in time to clean up. Currently, I mostly use plastic and oftentimes pitch it
Okay.
because I don't do silverware. I got realistic about it. I don't clean them.
Right.
So I have invested money in buying plastic
Instead.
instead.
Okay.
And paper bowls and paper plates.
Okay.
When I have an occasion, special occasion, I will use real. Oh, and where is it? Oh well, somewhere I've got a little dish I made. Oh, dishes I made? Oh, they're put away already.
Okay.
Pieces of pottery that I made.
That's
High
right.
power pottery.
You've made
Yeah.
a lot of your stuff.
Yeah.
And then can we take a peek in your refrigerator?
Now, you don't want to see the bottom drawer. That doesn't get cleaned in either, and I don't use it anymore because it doesn't get cleaned.
Okay, so there's nothing in there.
No,
Okay.
just dirty. I cleaned.
And so you have just some groceries and your spices, things like that.
Lots of spices.
Good.
Because when I do a little, the minute cooking that I do, excuse me, I like to have the correct spices.
Sure. Now I see here your stove. Your stove is not functional.
No, it's not. It's mostly a storage area.
Okay.
The kitchen is so small that there really isn't good kitchen work area.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, that's mainly my problem of not knowing what to do with things.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So most of your stuff you do is microwave?
yes.
Okay.
This is a piece of high fire pottery that I made.
Nice.
Threw it on the wheel, paddled it, and then did individual underglazes and then overglaze.
That's beautiful.
And this is the molded one that I glazed.
And then how about these plastic bags here in the front?
Oh, my recycling.
Okay.
I have not lately stuffed them all in and took them to the car.
Okay.
I should have done that. Well, it's another thing of not doing
Okay.
things regularly.
Oh, that's true. Good
and
point.
you can't refrigerate it because it gets stale.
That's a good idea. And so this is now what the dining room is supposed to be,
But it's my
but is
work
your
area.
work area. Okay. And I'm going to step out of the way.
And I've been making some of these cards, Happy Easter cards,
Nice. And these are for people in church and
or my family and
friends.
some
Those
friends.
are beautiful.
Yeah, and see, this is special ink. It's pearlized
Mm-hmm.
or metallic.
And you really enjoy doing this.
Oh, yes.
So the goal is really to get you to have more access to what supplies you need so you can do this more
Often.
often, more easily.
Yes,
Okay.
And
Beautiful stuff.
doing variations on a theme.
Yeah, that's very nice.
And I have, you notice the piles of these. The reason it's so obvious is because there are each stacks of things on projects I'm going to want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I want to use on the birthday cards.
Oh, I see.
The house mouse designs, which are underneath there.
Okay.
And then on top are some suns, stars, and that.
So they're all kind of theme-based?
Yes, and then here's birds, and then the fish for cards for a man and his wife, and they be particular inside deal. You are a unique and wonderful individual, created with a purpose ordained by God. No matter what the world says, God says this. Believe it because it is so.
Oh, nice.
And I want to make it for those that have a problem with self-esteem,
Mm-hmm.
which can be me too, but I do want to get that done.
Yeah.
But I need to get Easter finished and then a few more birthday cards.
And so if you had to find something, would you be able to find it right now?
Depending on what I want to find.
Okay.
My word stamps, most of the secular ones are in those drawers there.
Okay.
And then God's words, Bible quotes, and pictures and such.
So you do have some labels which
Uh-huh.
which will help you find
And
them.
some flowers and wild animals. I have about 4 or 5 tigers.
Okay.
It's so 2 or 3 elephants. And these are coordinated house and barn and such items that were done and I haven't experimented with them very much, just some.
Okay.
But I want to get those done before I decide on whether or not to get rid of those. And see here, house, kinds of plants that are in proportion to the characters.
And that's real important. I know you had mentioned that before, that you have so many of one type of plant or tree because there's different proportional sizes. Is that right?
And then too, for instance, there are 3 or 4 people, and they're unique in that they have fronts and backs.
Oh.
And you have a place where it's going to be like on a fence or on a door or a window, and you have the outside showing, and then as you open the card, it'll have a square cut out. Then as you open the card, you see the back side of it.
Oh, nice.
The same thing with a window and a door. Some things like that.
Okay.
All kinds of little plants and things. And then there are several drawers full of special ink pads, like are in here as well. Because some of them have unique qualities and properties.
Have you ever had to buy, for example, an ink pad that you thought you had but you couldn't find and you found it later?
Once or twice, but mostly I know where they are.
Okay.
So I can check to see if I've had it
Right.
or not.
Okay. And then,
And inks and embossing powders, odds and ends, oversized stamp pads, more embossing powders, dusters to dust powdered colors on,
okay.
and more of everything. On the side, and then some crafting and other practical things.
Right. And then back here you got 2 rooms.
And then the 2 bathrooms.
Okay.
Oh, these are my clothes to give away. I got them into paper bags.
Oh, these are the ones you were going to
Give away.
to the battered women's shelter?
Yes.
Oh, good. That's a big step forward. You got them into the containers.
Yeah. That I managed to put against the wall. They were right here. There's stuff still on the floor there because I haven't found a place to put those. And then these areas didn't have a place to put them. They got put in the middle of the room.
Okay.
It's really embarrassing. It didn't keep me from buying things though.
But just not having the place to put them.
Yeah. And I have a real neat theme for this, but access. I have a piece of material that has knights and ladies on it. And that's going to hang on the wall. Then I have a knight and a couple of other items, I forget what they were, but a little more than this. And that's going to be a sort of medieval, oh yeah, castle. Castle.
Okay.
Oh, see, here's a castle, and here are 2 sleeping dragons, and here's my major dragon. He's asleep, see, he's guarding something, and there's a wizard trying to steal it. And there, look, bookends. Front part of the dragon, back part of the dragon. On Dragon Riders of Pern series. That was a gift. The piece on top there, that's a hand-built piece out of high fire clay. trapezoid, I think.
And one thing, while we're in the bedroom, you had mentioned the size of your linen is not the correct size for the bed.
Well, let's put it this way. When it is put on the bed, part of it shows white. So I pin down 2 or 3 places so that it won't have a gap.
Okay.
And this is actually one that's made for longer beds, you know, the kind that kids find in dorms.
Okay.
And so I got that size, so it'll be long enough.
Right.
It's just that since it is so thick, it's a little hard to get things compensated for both.
But then that also creates a problem when it's time to do laundry, because it's a hassle to unpin. And okay. And then
that is a foam cage that actually it's done me a lot of good. When I had my carpal tunnel syndrome operation, I had to sleep with that for weeks and weeks.
Okay.
And so I found it useful when I had my trigger thumb taken care of.
Good.
So, this is so I can sit up in bed and do some, there's some medication I have to take it 2 hours before I eat. And I'm supposed to sit up for part of that time.
So this allows you to...
So I can sleep sitting up. And then I can also do my prayers and stuff.
Okay.
It's tough. I have it up on brackets so I can...
put things underneath.
Yes. But
okay.
Of course, that makes it harder to get into bed. So I have a pile of phone books and 2-volume set of Sherlock Holmes. I do have a piece of, a little stand that I could use it. But what happens is you get close to the edge and it flips.
Oh, flips over, topples over.
Yeah, so it's not practical.
Okay.
So I ended up doing this. Of course, then that has to be braced, which has to be braced, etc.
Gotcha. So this all is holding that together for you.
To a certain extent.
Okay.
Well, probably just need something very heavy.
Yes.
That would take care of it.
Yes. And then back here in the bathroom, I don't know if we don't want to necessarily invade your bathroom, but a lot of the things here you mentioned was that the clothes really just are not able to get into the closet.
Right, because of the accumulation right here.
Right.
And have not had a satisfactory solution to I don't have a logical, satisfactory way of handling that.
And so not being able to get access to your closet, the clothes, you just hang them here for right now. Hopefully the goal is to get them in the closet.
Yes, that is the goal. I can sort, give away, and throw away.
Okay.
But some of the things I don't want to throw away or give away, and finding a practical solution to that is one of the main problems of that.
How to make the decision, what stays and what goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, here's a dragon here.
Yeah.
I'm going to embroider. Here's a little dragon neck piece, necklace. And a friend of mine did this cross stitch dragon.
That's nice. That's nice. And then, if we come out in the hallway again, I know you're really proud of this feature here. Right.
Yeah. This, you can get it from there. A reed mat. Then there's this oriental hanging. Oh, I should have had a spotlight too. Then a little oriental cabinet, which has a few items of a tiger and a dragon. And this is sort of a oriental arrangement. and the artificial grass. This sort of enhances the outfit. It's not terrific or perfect, but it's very interesting.
Yeah, and it's nicely done. I like the way you did that. And that leads us into the next room, which is, I guess, the second bedroom, but you use it as an office or a storage?
combination computer room and storage.
Okay.
Before
You have a collection of books. That's one
yes,
of the things too.
yeah,
that you
my
love.
art books that are there, and then all
computer.
these flowers. I did an artificial flower collection, and I was doing all kinds of things and gifts and show and stuff. But some of them I just bought because I loved them.
Yeah.
And deciding on which to give away, I did give away a lot of them. Really. But
and Easter actually is a great time coming up. Maybe you can think of some Easter ones to put together.
I don't know.
Okay.
I have a box that has my wreath. My spring wreath hasn't been put together yet. My sewing machine, which I bought for the stitches, the embroidery stitches, which I haven't even completed a sampler of. But if I got to it, it would be handy for repairs and decorations.
And then also, I noticed you have the island. It's almost like you made a little island
Yes,
here.
because there wasn't room against the wall
Mm-hmm.
for the computer. So I figured, well, if I'm careful with the back, I can have it in the middle of the room,
Mm-hmm.
since I didn't need that much space in the middle.
Right. But then you also have difficulty getting to your storage or your closet, which I know we had looked at before. And it's,
Yeah.
I don't want you to hurt yourself since you had fallen. So be careful. But it's got some of your yarn and embroidery threads, I believe.
Some more books, paperbacks. And Christmas hasn't gotten covered with plastic and put away yet. Here's another Christmas candle. These are items that need to be sorted or disposed of. And you haven't seen, I no longer have a major Star Trek collection.
That used to be here.
That used to be here.
Wow.
I have sold all my Star Trek fanzines, fictional stories about them written by fans.
Oh, okay.
And I had hundreds,
Hundreds.
but I sold them, and I had a bunch of, quite a few. Well, I want to get this open.
So getting access and just having a place for everything that's in the way, for
Yeah.
safety reasons also, just so you don't fall,
Right.
would be helpful.
Because I have some pottery
Mm-hmm.
that I made,
Mm-hmm.
some that I collected, and then I have yarn and spools of thread when I did weaving. My loom is in here, a rigid heddle loom, and a few other items.
But I bet there is stuff in there too that you would like to display
Oh,
that
yes.
you just don't have room for.
Don't have room for it.
Okay.
And something I messed up. Some of these I fired pottery.
Uh-huh.
It's a violet pot.
Oh.
You see, this holds the leaves out,
Oh, okay.
because if you get water in your leaves, your violets, it spots.
Oh. Okay.
They're hairy leaves and they get
I
spotted.
didn't know that.
So you put the plant in here,
Mm-hmm.
has a thread hanging down. Well, actually a wick of some kind.
Yeah, to
and
get
then
the
this
water.
is the water reservoir
Oh, nice.
because you're not supposed to get them too wet.
Okay.
And then specialty hand-built pot with added rows of
Decoration, yeah.
for higher height, and then a decorative
Mm-hmm.
piece done there, and then I glazed it very neatly, I think. One glaze here and one glaze here,
Ah.
and see I glazed this and then used the, oh well, never mind. I could go on to
Well,
detail.
you're proud of your things that you've made, and it's nice to see them. It'd be nice that if they were more accessible.
Yeah. What you see, I meant to put all my Christmas stuff away. I need to get to that.
Getting things out of the way.
There are things in the closet here. There are a few things under there. And the bathtub itself has things in it. My 2 wreaths, Christmas and fall. And some of the plants. Here's some of the dried material. My Christmas decorations. And storage. So I need to put away. I need to donate so I have room.
I like those words.
On a couple of paintings I had made. Things I don't have room here, things I don't have room to display. Like, oh, here's something I'd like to have up. The school where I worked made a montage for me. And then here is Shakespeare. Oh well, you probably can't get that to turn out. There was a museum display of print. Oh well, never mind. But that was my former roommate's videotapes that I taped from different episodes, different shows. Star Trek Voyager and Lois and Clark and several different things like that. And Behind the Door, Empire Strikes Back. Oh, Lady Hawk was an Excalibur. And several other items that once in a while I play.
Well, thanks for giving us a tour, Lucy. I know it is hard to get around, but
if I would just keep things current, I let things slide, and that's where a lot of the trouble arises, because I don't put things away precisely as soon as I'm finished with them.
Right.
Instead, I let them accumulate.
So with some of the things that you've already been planning, you're donating some of the clothes. I see that's a big step forward.
And
just getting them in the containers was
yeah.
a big step for you.
Oh yeah, I had them lying around for ages.
Right. So even though you have the intention, sometimes it's the follow through that becomes a problem.
Follow through.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, this is a stitchery that I made.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I used a piece of rock formation, a slice, and I sketched from that, and then translated it into a monochromatic scheme.
That's beautiful. And one thing that I noticed is how creative you are. You have wonderful ideas, and there's, you know, things craft-wise that you've made, collections of, like for example, the dragons. Those are beautiful pieces, some of them. And so you really have a variety of things that you like to have around you. And so to enjoy them, the key is how do we get them to be, you know, viewable, easily accessible. And so knowing that that's your goal, does that feel?
Well, it gives me a goal, which I might not have striven very hard for, except for y'all's help, which I'll now have something to keep to actually make progress.
Right.
I'll be accountable to more than outside of myself, to more than myself.
And that's a big step for you to have taken.
Oh yes. And you know, I was a little surprised at myself for choosing to do this, but I know and I knew that I needed help.
Yeah.
So that means I'm going to take advantage when it's offered.
Well, plus, I mean, letting us into your home, this is your personal space, and, you know, that takes a lot of exposing yourself, which I know was a hard step to make.
Well, it's not going to be splashed all over town.
Correct, correct. This is
going to be a limited disclosure.
Yeah, but it's really for you. It's for you in helping you get, you know, to your goal. And if we can help in the process, that's even better. So I think we had talked about, and in summary, just some of the things we talked about with your stamp collection, and you've already gotten started with that, is maybe finding some of the stamps that you may not use as often, or that you might be able to share with others.
Or might not have used at all.
At all. And so that would be a place to begin.
And I'll make some copies so that in slightly different styles, so that I won't get an attack of the, oh, I shouldn't have gotten rid of that.
Right.
Because I'll have some copies that I've made to actually use them if I so choose to get inclined to do so.
And also behind you, we didn't talk about it, but you have a collection of papers and sheets.
Fancy sheets of paper.
And so
many different styles and techniques.
Yeah.
Some are rice paper, some are printed, some are marbleized, some are double-sided. They go from the range from about $3.95 to $16.95 a sheet.
Right. So they're a nice collection, and if you could be able to enjoy them and use them more, that would be wonderful.
Yes.
Also, thinking about in here, we had talked about the number of lamps that we have in this room, and how some of them are not functional.
Yeah, the one back over there and the one here are no longer work, but I wish I had replacements for them.
Right.
Because I like brightness. Look how many I needed to put to get the brightness that I got from those lights.
But then actually not being able to repair them, they have still been here, and the goal is to
actually walk them out to the trash.
Okay.
Getting them out of their place has always been awkward. So that's one reason I haven't actually done it. I'm not that strong. So it will be a major undertaking.
Sure. But then actually just noticing that, and the fact that that's taking up space that could be used for something else, or, you know, at least giving you more room.
Yes.
Would be a good idea to get working on. Another thing that we have talked about, I think, also to mention was you were a librarian.
Yes, I was a librarian.
You love books.
For 33 years.
You love books, and you've collected a lot of art books and craft books.
The art books are in that other room mostly.
We saw.
and these are mainly the craft books,
Mm-hmm.
and these are the religion books.
Okay. And then a lot of the books you read, the science fiction and some of those things, what do you do with those once you're finished reading?
Oh, I keep them for years and reread them to where I'm practically memorized them.
Okay.
And then I let them rest for a few years, and then I can start to read them again. Especially some of the series, when they have 20 books to a series
Mm-hmm.
spanning the history of the created world, it can take, several months to get through them.
Yeah.
And so it's something secure, a friend or friends
Mm-hmm.
that won't let you down,
Ah, okay.
and familiar,
Mm-hmm.
secure. You know what's going to happen in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
So
No surprises.
it's safe to enjoy them.
Right. Okay.
I have sold almost a complete bookcase of books,
Okay.
and it was science fiction and fantasy that I did.
So how was that? Did that feel okay?
It was challenging,
Mm-hmm.
but I found good excuses for letting several of them go. Quite a few of them go,
Mm-hmm.
and then others were heart-wrenching.
Okay.
But there were some things, some ideas that were actually can give one problems. If it's like opposing your own philosophy.
Oh, I see. So you were able to find something that allowed you to let go
Yes.
of those.
Yes.
Okay. And I think one of the other things, briefly, that I'll mention is that we had talked about access to your DVD and stereo. The system hasn't been set up completely, plus the DVD doesn't work.
That in there doesn't. I have
Okay.
one right there, but I'm on top of that speaker.
Mm-hmm.
But I have not been courageous enough to
To
actually
actually use it.
try it.
Okay.
For someone who loves science fiction so much, I'm not technophobic, but techno-conservative.
Okay.
So I can tell that in my mind.
Okay.
Gee, Lucy, you're not being very true to your intellectual aspirations.
Yeah, well, sometimes things can be a little scary. Well, I want to thank you, Lucy, today for sharing your space with us, showing us some of the beautiful things you have in your apartment, and also some of the areas that really need a lot of work. And
Which
we're
is
hoping,
a lot of it.
right? And we're hoping to see a progression of improvement, like you mentioned, very slow. And little things here and there, and
then-
I'm already proud of you with some of the things you've already started. So
Yeah, actually I did these today,
What?
but I did thinking about it before this.
Mhm.
I could tell some right away.
Right.
There are others that, well, I think I will get rid of them, but I definitely want to use them first.
Right.
And
But this is at least 10 or 15 stamps that you've at least made that effort to put in one place.
about 10.
Yeah. So that's a start.
It is a start. And I
Well-
will be making some copies of these, so I'll have them on hand. In case anyone is worried about my being black and blue, I fell in my apartment parking lot a week ago yesterday. And the bruising has migrated from my head, which hit the curb, all the way down through here. For a while there I was having a real black eye. And I was stuck a little bit. But now it's here at my jaw. I didn't get
Didn't get punched?
didn't get punched. Didn't get punched.
Okay.
My head hit the cement.
I know you did hurt your finger, and so
Yeah.
you are healing. So thanks for doing this while you weren't feeling so well. I think we were also going to maybe take some just still pictures and And I think you really, we've talked about some of the stuff from last week that you were, gonna work on.